Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Jaya Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra Maya, Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev. Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। टुगेदर। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। अनंतराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। Hare Krishna. So today we will be reading and discussing from Canto 1, chapter number 8, text number 11. So you can repeat after me. Sutavacha
Sutavacha
Upadharya Vachastasya
Upadharya Vachastasya
Bhagavan Bhaktavatsalah
Bhagavan Bhaktavatsala
Apandavam Idam Kartum
Apandavam Kartu
Dronerastram Abhudyata.
Dronerastram Abhudyat
Sutavacha
Sutavacha
Upadharya Vachastasya
Upadharya Vachastasya
Bhagavan Bhaktavatsalah
Bhagavan Bhaktavatsala
Apandavam Idam Kartum
Apandavam Kartu
Dronerastram Abhudyata.
Dronerastram Abhudyat
Sutavacha
Sutavacha
Upadharya Vachastasya
Upadharya Vachastasya
Bhagavan Bhaktavatsalah
Bhagavan Bhaktavatsala
Apandavamidam Kartum
Apandavam Kartu
Dronerastam Abhudyata.
Dronerastram Abhudyat
Sutavacha Sutavacha
उपद्धार्य वचस्तस्य
Upadharya Vachastasya
भगवान् भक्तवत्सलः
Bhagavan Bhaktavatsalah
अपाण्डवम् इदं कर्तुम्
Apandavamidam Kartum
द्रोणेर अस्त्रम् अभुद्यत
Dronerastram Abhudyata.
Suta Uvacha
Sutavacha
Upadharya Vachastasya
Upadharya Vachastasya
Bhagavan Bhaktavatsala
Bhagavan Bhaktavatsala
Apandavam Idam Kartum
Apandavam Idam Kartum
Dronerastram Abhudyate.
Dronerastram Abhudyata. Anybody online wants to recite? No. All right. Let us go word by word. Sutavacha,
Sutavacha
Suta Goswami said,
Goswami said
Upadharya,
Upadharya
by hearing her patiently.
by hearing her patience
Vachaha,
Vachas
words.
words
Tasya,
Tasya
her.
her
Bhagavan,
Bhagavan
the personality of Godhead.
the personality of Godhead
Bhaktavatsala,
Bhaktavatsala
he who is very much affectionate towards his devotees.
he who is very much affectionate towards his devotees
Apandavam,
Apandavam
without the existence of Pandava's descendants.
without the existence of the Pandavas descendants
Idam,
Idam
this,
this
Kartum,
Kartum
to do it.
to do it
Drone,
Drone
of the son of Dronacharya.
of the son of Dronacharya
Astram,
Astram
weapon.
weapon
Abhudyata,
Abhutyata
understood.
understood
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Sutta Goswami said, having patiently heard her words, Lord Shri Krishna, who is always very affectionate to his devotees, could at once understand that Ashwathama, the son of Dronacharya, had thrown the Brahmastra to finish the last life in the Pandava family. But the Lord is impartial in every respect, but still he is inclined towards his devotees because there is a great necessity of this for everyone's well-being. The Pandava family was a family of devotees, and therefore the Lord wanted them to rule the world. That was the reason he vanquished the rule of the company of Duryodhan and established the rule of Maharaj Yudhishthir. Therefore, he also wanted to protect Maharaj Parikshit, who was lying in embryo. He did not like the idea that the world should be without the Pandavas, the ideal family of devotees. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुसे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you to this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. So before I speak, lot of windows are open. Before I speak anything, I would like to admit that I absolutely have no qualification to sit here on this Vyasasan and speak anything about this subject matter. In fact, today I have not even finished my rounds, so I am double disqualified to speak anything. But it's just because of the orders of our Siksha Guru, His Grace Madan Sundar Prabhuji, I'm sitting here and trying to speak something. So just praying and seeking all the blessings of all the Vaishnavas here, that I may speak something which can purify my own self as well as can please all of you. So please forgive me if anything, if I say any incorrect or if something that is not in parampara. And please do. I will be very grateful if you give me correction if something is incorrect. So with that, let us start the discussion of this wonderful verse. So last week, so where we are overall, in the storyline of Bhagavatam, what has happened is we have heard, in many verses we heard that Ashwathama killed the son of the Pandavas. Then Arjuna caught him, and then there's an episode of how they punished Ashwathama. After punishing Ashwathama, the last rites are performed, and after all this is happening, Yudhishthir Maharaj performs after this Ashwamedh Yagya, right, under Lord Krishna's guidance. And post that, Lord is preparing for his departure. So this is overall the high level of where the storyline of Bhagavatam is currently. And when Lord is preparing for his departure, he sees that Uttara, is running towards Lord Krishna. In she's worried, and because of the imminent danger that she feels, that is to her womb, and she is seeking protection from Lord. So we've seen these verses before. Now in this verse, uh, we will be primarily focusing. So what in this verse, what overall is that a Lord understands, hears her Uttara patiently, and he understands that who is the cause of this problem, right? That is the whole point. And in this verse, what we will do is we'll primarily be focusing on our discussion on two words. Okay, one is upadharya, that is mentioned, and second is bhaktavatsala. So in the first line, Lord Krishna, in the translation, Prabhupada translates it, he says that Lord Krishna heard her, meaning Uttara, patiently, which is upadharya. So Lord Krishna has unlimited qualities, we know, and one of the qualities is having patience, right? This is uh, this is a quality that Lord Krishna has displayed in many instances. So some of the instances where Lord Krishna has displayed such quality of patience, there are many instances, but some I could think of. So one is when when he came as a messenger, peace messenger in Hastinapur, right? At that time, despite knowing the kind of hostility of the Kauravas and their attitude, they really wanted to fight, right? Still, Lord Krishna kept a lot of patience. He explained the reason why this war should not happen, and even he went to the level of saying that give only 5 villages to the Pandavas and we can avoid this fratricidal war. So he kept a lot of patience, and even after Duryodhan tried to capture Lord Krishna, he did not, he could have, Lord Krishna could have, immediately destroyed everybody, right? But he kept a lot of patience. He showed his Virat, semi Virat Swarup, right, in that assembly, and then he left. So this is one quality of Lord Krishna, right, where he remained calm, and he remained patient. Second instance uh, that we can think of is when Shishupal used to insult. Many times he used to insult Lord Krishna, but Lord Krishna patiently used to not, he used to be calm. He used not to be not retaliate anyway. Eventually, in Rajsuya Yagya, we know that after he crossed his limit of 100 aparadhs of against the Lord, then Lord took the action. Even if we think on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna was so much confused and despondent, and in such a situation where the battle is about to begin. At that time, it's even Lord Krishna had so much of patience, and systematically he clarified each and every doubt of Arjun. Not even the doubts that Arjun spoke as questions, but as we hear, even the doubts which came in his mind, Krishna gave all the answers to all those doubts that were there. So he so much patiently explained all this. So, any other examples where Lord Krishna exhibited patience? Correct. This is the same thing we discussed, that he heard and explained patiently. Yeah. Krishna allowed patiently to be bound by the love of Mother Yashoda. Yes, Prabhu. Very nice. One example of Kalya. So Krishna could have immediately killed Kalya, right? But he slowly and patiently danced on the fangs of Kalya, removed all his poison from his body, and also destroyed his pride, or his, that he is so strong. That pride was destroyed. So patiently he he dealt with Kalia. Yes, Prabhu. He patiently, yeah, he gave the association to the devotees by patiently lifting Govardhan for 7 nights, 7 days, right? And he had some patience with Indra. You're right. Correct.
Hare Krishna,
Uh,
Prabhu.
yes, Mataji.
I was thinking of this Ranachor, right? When Kalyavanan was running behind, he could have immediately
Correct.
killed Kalyavanan, but he patiently ran till the cave where Muchukunda is sleeping, you know. So, yeah. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Yes, Mataji. Wonderful. Even Putana, for that matter, he Lord patiently, allowed Putna to give her milk to Lord Krishna. He sucked and then sucked the air, life air out of her. So he could have killed. So there are a lot of instances where Lord Krishna has exhibited patience, right? But in our life, we may get lot of times we may get impatient. Is it not? In our even in our normally, if you see in our material life, somebody is not going to getting on site if there is in a job, somebody is not able to buy apartment, somebody is not getting married, somebody has all kind of anxiety and impatient people get impatient, right? Even in spiritual life we see devotees getting impatient, right? Normal thing, people are waiting for long to get initiation. Some people are waiting for to bring deities at home, they get impatient, but authorities are not approving. There are a lot of cases where we get impatient, right? So how, as a sadhak, who is seeking who is practicing Krishna consciousness, how we can develop patience, so there are some tips that I read through. So one very important, as a sadhak, as a practicing sadhak, one very important thing which we keep in mind, which can help us to imbibe or develop patience, is realizing that everything happens under Krishna's will. I know it is easily said than done or understood, but you see, if we understand this point that everything is happening with Krishna's will. For example, some time back heard Nittai Sevani Mataji. She gives a very beautiful example. She says that there is only two things whenever you are disheartened. There can be only two possibilities. Okay, one is either your desire or your plan is fulfilled, or second is Krishna's plan is fulfilled. There is only two things possible in this world. Either whatever you desire is getting fulfilled, you will probably, hopefully, you will be satisfied probably for some time. But if your desire or your plans are not getting fulfilled, what you should understand is Krishna's plan is working, right? And we know Krishna is our well-wishing father. He is our well-wisher. So whatever he is thinking, as a father for a child, we will always think good. Temporarily we may think that this is something not correct. When the child gets a slap, he may think that this is not good, this is not something that is good that is happening with him or her. But the father knows that this is good for her or him, right? Similarly, whenever we are disheartened, we also always have to think that this is plan of Krishna. There is only thing, either your desire, if your desire getting fulfilled, you are happy. But if your desire is not getting fulfilled, you think that it is Krishna's plan, and Krishna's plan is a long term plan. So it is definitely something that is good for you, right? So that can help you cultivate or develop patience, this understanding. Even his guest Radhesham Prabhu has given a very wonderful class. The title of the class is "Do Your Best and Leave the Rest." So if you hear that, very nice. Of course, I mean, this doing your best. What is the boundary? How much is the best? Has to be done under guidance. Okay, but there is a wonderful class saying that do your best and leave the rest. Even Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita chapter 18 says that he is directing the wanderings of all living entities as Paramatma and help us accept. So this understanding will help us accept all kind of challenges and delays that happen in our life, because Lord Krishna as Paramatma is guiding and wandering the living entities, right? So this is one part, that everything happens under Krishna's will. The second practical tip, or understanding that we can cultivate, which can help us to develop patience, is what? If we hear regularly Srimad Bhagavatam and chant in Brahma Muhurat every day, that purification that happens, it will purify our mind. And when your mind is purified, it will be less agitated and more tolerant. Okay? In Bhagavad Gita 2.14, it is said, we can recite together. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitosana sukha dukkada agamapayino nityas stam stitikshava bharata. So Lord says that happiness and distress are non-permanent, just like summer and winter seasons. So we need to learn to tolerate it. So one way is, if we understand Bhagavad Gita, certain verses that we recite, if we try to apply, or apply this knowledge practically in our life, keep remembering these verses, then this can help us develop the patience and tolerance. And even meditating on how Krishna was patient in different situations, if we meditate on those pastimes of Krishna, can also help us become more patient. So these are some points of how one can remain patient. Now further, if we read ahead, two very important words come up in the shloka, which is Bhagwan Bhakta Vatsala. So even in earlier chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam that we read, in Lord Krishna has already been declared as Bhagwan. And there is no doubt now, as right now. So we remember, that all the incarnations were discussed, and at the end, what the famous verse comes is Etisham Shakalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam, right? And many other places after that, there is a reference of Bhagwan Vacha. So it is already mentioned that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the next two words, Bhakta Vatsala. So Prabhupada translate this as he who is very much affectionate towards his devotees, right? So this is something that we will further discuss now. Now, if we read the first line of the purport, Srila Prabhupada, that Srila Prabhupada has written, he says the Lord is impartial in every respect, but still he is inclined towards his devotees. Now, at this point, somebody may have this question in his mind, that how come Lord is being stated as impartial when he is inclined, or has special affection for his devotees? That is partiality, right? So the answer to this sort of doubt that may come up is given in lot of places, but one of the section what we can read is Bhagavad Gita 9.29. We can recite Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu Na Me Dveshosti Na Priya Ye Bhajanti Tumam Bhaktya Mai Te Teshu Chapyaham. So Lord Krishna says, I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. Very clearly he says, I am equal to all. But, there is a but. However, whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. So how is this partiality? If you think, partiality in this case would be that if Lord is not reciprocating equally, right? I mean, if someone is rendering some devotional service, somebody is rendering some service, and if the person is reciprocating equally, that is impartiality, right? That is, if he is not reciprocating, that would be partiality. Is it not? So where is the question of, I don't know, where is the question of partiality that comes? But there is, a lot of places, even this doubt had come in the mind of Parikshit Maharaj. In the end of 6th canto, he raises a question to Sukdev Goswami. He says, I will not read the shloka. So translation is, King Parikshit said, "O great sage, the Supreme Lord Vishnu is equal to all living beings, yet he protects the demigods and kills the demons. How can he be impartial while acting in this way?" This is a question raised by Parikshit Maharaj. So this kind of doubt can come to anyone, because we hear a lot of times that Lord Krishna is protecting the devotees and destroying the demons. Then Sukdev Goswami explains in detail about this impartial nature of the Lord. He explains, convinces that he says this apparent partiality that we see, is due to reciprocal dealings. So that what we discuss, when Lord is reciprocating to somebody, that doesn't mean that he is partial towards that person. It all depends on the attitude of the living entity. It says that mercy is available, freely available. It is just that it depends on the recipient whether he wants to accept that mercy or not. I usually mention this. I somehow it is ingrained in me. This example of Radha Govind Swami Maharaj, he always says that uh, the mercy of the Lord is like a river which is flowing down the hill. No, it's flowing down the hill, and whatever comes under that river or that mercy is benefited. But there are certain, tall trees who are above, are very arrogant and standing straight and tall. They are not covered by that mercy, but the humble grass is covered by the mercy. So it depends on the recipient. uh, Another one example that I could think of, see, we all have studied in school, and in the school we have a set of students will always go to the teacher. Lot of doubts they will speak to the teacher. And certain students like me, I was in that other group. I always used to think that अरे क्या है ये टीचर पार्शियलिटी करती है, कितना भाव देती है इनको, है कि नहीं. And sometimes the teacher used to call those students also in the staff room, and I used to say, अरे को बुलाया staff room में, इतनी पार्शियल है, इतना भाव देती है इनको, हम लोग को कुछ नहीं. But I did not realize I am not even approaching. If I approach the teacher with certain doubts, then she will also give me equal bhav. So with this we can understand that teacher is not partial. The teacher is not partial. It is the person who is, it's about reciprocation, right? Person is not approaching, then how can you claim that teacher is partial? Another example that Sukdev it's given in the scriptures is about the sun. The sun gives light to all, right? But if somebody is hiding in the cave and then complaining that I am not receiving the sun rays, it doesn't make sense, right? So and of course, to receive the mercy, its mercy is available to all, but to receive the mercy there is a process, right? And you need to take some effort and come out of the cave at least to receive the rays of the sun or the mercy. So that makes it a little, I hope that makes it clear about this comment about partiality of the Lord. Lord is impartial, but when we see some special attention or inclination towards the devotees, we have to understand that the devotee, it's a reciprocation from the Lord that is coming towards that devotee. It is not his partiality. Even if we see killing and or punishing certain demons, it's actually a favor of the Lord. We have discussed so many times. Example, we discuss about Putana, right? Putana was killed, but then that was also a favor. She got such a wonderful position as a, let's say, a nurse in Vaikunta. Then Bali Maharaj, he was, if we look at it, he was utterly humiliated in one sense in front of all the Daityas, right? So, but what he submitted everything, and he got a kingdom which was even greater than Indra. He's in Sutala, right? And Lord Vishnu himself was the the guard or the doorkeeper for there. So he got so much stuff, even as a form of punishment. Even the soldiers of Battle of Kurukshetra, they all received the liberation. So the punishment also from in a sense from the Lord is a favor. Uh, so we should always not think that Lord is partial. That's the point. Now, when I was reading this in this aspect of Lord being impartial, we are going to discuss this verse, but I thought we should read this out in this verse 1.8.29. Probably you can share it for the online audience. 1.8.29, which is going to come now. Prabhupada in his purport explains so beautifully this concept of the impartial nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and clarifies this misconception. So I will read the translation 1.8.29 first. O Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastime. This is Kunti Devi's prayer. This is part of Kunti Devi's prayer. So, O Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes, which appear to be human and so are misleading. You have no specific object of favor, nor do you have any object of envy. People only imagine that you are partial. People are only imagining that you are partial. And in the middle of the purport, if you see, Prabhupada writes there's a word called suffering men. So in that, I will read out that, you can hear that. Suffering men, needy men, inquisitive person or philosopher. This is Artho Artharthi, Jnani, Jigyasu Jnani. That 4 categories make temporary connections with the Lord to serve a particular purpose. When the purpose is served, there is no more relation with the Lord. A suffering man, if he is pious at all, prays to the Lord for his recovery. But as soon as the recovery is over, in most cases, the suffering man no longer cares to keep any connection with the Lord. The mercy of the Lord is open for him, but he is reluctant to receive it. That is the difference between pure devotee and a mixed devotee. So this is also this person who is suffering. He is also receiving mercy of the Lord, but then afterwards he forgets about that. He is not want is gone, the need is gone, so he is forgetting. And then we read further, those who are completely against the service of the Lord are considered to be in abject darkness. So these are, not even in this category, 4 categories that we discussed. Abject darkness. Those who ask for the Lord's favor only at the time of necessity are partial recipients. This Artho Artharthi Jnani Jigyasu are partial recipients of the mercy of the Lord. And those who are 100% engaged in the service of the Lord are full recipients of the mercy of the Lord. Such partiality in receiving the Lord's mercy is relative to the recipient, and it is not due to the partiality of the all merciful Lord. Right? So Prabhupada is also very clearly explaining that Lord is not partial. It is, depends on the how we approach, how the person is approaching, and that is his reciprocation. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. Whoever surrenders unto me, proportionately I take care of him. Right? So Lord is not partial. He is completely impartial and distributes his mercy equally. We should be eager and willing to get that mercy. Now, what are the, if we think this question further, what are the reasons we as conditioned souls keep thinking about Lord being partial? Like Parishit Maharaj also got that doubt, though Parishit Maharaj is a pure devotee, but he's, for the benefit of all of us, he's asking those questions and getting this clarified. But the reason, if we analyze, the problem is with our mind. Our mind is so much in that material consciousness always. It is always thinking about, it's always scanning, and in that scanning, whatever is favorable to his false ego, that is considered good. whatever is not favorable to the false ego is considered bad. That is our normal. We keep on scanning different events in our life and then classify things into good and bad. um, or somebody is my enemy, somebody who is not satisfying my senses is an enemy, who is able to gratify my senses is a friend. So this kind of continuous scanning, classification into good and bad, enemy and friend, that is continuously happening. And what happens when our mind is working in this material consciousness, we wear this kind of a curtain or a glass through which we always see things in this duality, in this whether something is good or bad, enemy or friend, like that, right? And what happens, because of this constant material consciousness, even the pastimes of the Lord that we try to understand, we see it with these lenses of what is good, what is bad. This is good, okay, and this is bad. So whatever pastimes the Lord performs, we classify that also into good and bad things, right? This is because we are completely deluded in this mode of three modes of material nature. In Bhagavad Gita 7.27, Lord Krishna says, Ichchadvesha samuthena dvanda mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sargayanti parantapa. Meaning, O son of Bharat, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities, arising for the desire, from desire and hate. So the issue is with dualities. And this, because of this curtain that is in front of our eyes, uh, we keep seeing this good and bad, friend and enemy, and that is the reason we also think, that Lord, in this case he is partial, this case is impartial. That is why this is coming up. But our acharyas have mercifully given us also a solution, how we can overcome this duality, and how we can understand Lord Krishna uh, without this such kind of dualities. The solution is, how we can do it is, if we focus on the higher goals. So there is a wonderful example, a story comes which explains this concept. So one in one of the mathas, okay, there was a disciple, and he approaches the leader, the mathapati, and he says that I want to quit, I want to leave the math, and I want to go away. So the leader, the mathapati, asks that what happened, what is the reason why you want to go from leave the matha. So he said that there is so much of bad mouthing over here, people are speaking for each other behind their backs. The atmosphere is completely not good in our ashram. So the leader, he says that okay, if you want you can leave, but there is one last service that I want you to do. And if you agree, then you do that service and you leave. So the disciple said, yes, why not, I will do that service. So the leader gives him one glass of water full up to the brim, and he says that you carry this glass of water and walk around the ashram and come back, and give me the glass. But one condition is there, not a single drop of water should fall out of the water, should come out of the water. So that guy says, okay, I will do it. And then he very cautiously, steady, he takes the glass and walks throughout the ashram, every room, etc. He goes there and comes back, and then hands over the glass to the leader, right? And then the leader says, did you so he gives the glass and says that okay, I've done my service, and not a single drop of water fell off from this glass. So the leader says that okay, but did you hear about all the bad mouthing and all that stuff that is going on in the ashram right now? So he said no, I did not hear anything right now. So the point is, when our focus, so he was continuously focusing on the glass, right? So when our focus is on the higher goals, then we automatically don't, even certain wrong things are happening, or certain bad mouthing is happening, we will not get affected, right? Or we will not mind that. So that was how our acharyas say that you focus on the higher goal, and then automatically these will be insignificant for you. Now, if we go back to the purport and continue the first line, what Srila Prabhupada said in the purport, he said, the Lord is impartial in every respect, but still he is inclined towards his devotees because he raised that because there is a great necessity of this for everyone's well-being. So he gets the reason also why Lord is inclined towards his devotee, because there is a great necessity. So why Srila Prabhupada is saying like this? There is a great necessity for such a thing, for Lord to be inclined towards his devotees. What is the necessity? Anybody wants to give something? He- So Prabhupada in his first sentence of the purport, he says that Lord is impartial in every respect, but still is inclined towards his devotees because there is a great necessity of this for everyone's well-being. See, actually, he also explains further in the purport itself why he's saying this, right? So he explained that the Lord wanted Pandavas to rule the world because he knew that the Pandavas are well placed, are placed so that they will bring overall welfare of the entire world, right? So this will cause the welfare of the entire world, and hence he was inclined towards Pandavas so that they are established as the rulers, and that is beneficial for all. So it is not for the benefit of Pandavas; it's a benefit for the entire world, right? Another example, if I can think of, or maybe you guys, if you can think of an example where Lord is inclined to his devotees, and that caused the well-being of everyone. Jai. Yes. So Prahlad Maharaj, when he protected Prahlad Maharaj, that was the benefit for all. So all the praja of Prahlad Maharaj became God conscious. Any other example where Lord was inclined or favorable? Lord Ram protected Sita.
Raised war against Ravana.
Correct.
It was for welfare of all, whole universe.
Whole universe. Right. Even if you think here, Srila Prabhupada, if you think about Srila Prabhupada's case, Sh- Lord Krishna had a favor. He had specially empowered Srila Prabhupada, and with this empowerment, he could transform so many lives. And it is now we can see, so many millions and crores of people are getting benefited. It is well-being for all of us, right? So when Lord is inclined towards a devotee, it is benefiting so many other is welfare for all other devotees. Even Parikshit Maharaj, if you see, Parikshit Maharaj, Lord, how was Lord in showing special favor or inclined? He created such a situation where Parikshit Maharaj committed that small mistake, and because of which he got cursed, right? And because of that, what happened? Srimad Bhagavatam, which is now benefiting all of us, came out, right? Even Arjun, he was showed favor to Arjun in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and Bhagavad Gita came out. So the point is, when Lord is inclined to his devotees, it is benefit for the entire, all everyone. So now Krishna is the last point I wanted to discuss. Is Krishna is addressed as Bhakta Vatsala, as we said, right? So he is protecting or pleasing. And I was listening to Radhesham Prabhu. So amazing sentence he mentioned about this Bhakta Vatsala. What he said is, he's addressed as Bhakta Vatsala because for him, pleasing or protecting the devotees is much higher than maintaining his own reputation. Pleasing or protecting his devotees is much, much higher than maintaining his reputation. So many instances in our scriptures there are mentioned when Lord Krishna's pastimes where he did not care about his own reputation for the protection or for the pleasure of his devotees, right? Which incidents? First thing that comes into all our mind is protection of Arjun against from Bhishma Dev, where he did not care about his reputation of breaking his promise in the battlefield. When Bhishma Dev was, attacking, there was like a rain of arrows was coming, and there was imminent that Arjun will die if his something intervention is not given. So that was one. Then another one, Lord Ram killing Bali. Correct. That was for there also. Lord hid and killed Bali. He did not care about his reputation for the protection of his devotee. Bali Maharaj. Correct. Bali Maharaj, we can say, kind of with deceit or trick, he gatekeeper. Yes. Varahadev,
Protecting
earth.
in form of goat, which is considered
Correct. Lowest animal. Yes. Very nice example. Varahadev. So you can see so many example. Even if you see for pleasing the gopis, Lord Krishna is also termed as Lampat, So he even becomes a Lampat for pleasing the gopis, protecting Arjuna, even during the Jaidrath. He created such a situation. Then people, the Kauravas started saying some things about Lord Krishna, right? That he tricked us. So he doesn't care of the reputation. Even Medhavani Mataji mentioned about that Ranchor. So he's called Ranchor. He ran away from the 18th battle, right? It was with Jarasan. He ran away for protecting the residents of Mathura. He transferred all of them to Dwarka, and he unnecessary fight was happening so many times. So he ran away. Jarasan's time had not come at that time. So he did not care about calling Ranchor. Then he became charioteer of Arjun to please Arjuna, acted as a messenger, which is again considered as a kind of a lower this thing service. In Rajsuya Yagya, we know that Lord Krishna did such a menial service again for the pleasure of Pandavas. Then he even ate the peel of banana from Vidurani, right? So then the story of Sudama, when we hear, it said that Sudama was kind of returning because he was not allowed inside. And Lord Krishna, when he heard, he ran, and on the streets of Dwarka, where all the people were there, he embraced Sudama. So he did not care about that he's king and this is like just a very poor person. He embraced, and everybody was surprised that why Lord is embracing one poor person. So for pleasing and protecting his devotees, Lord Krishna is always never cares about his reputation, right? Mm. So that is why he's called Bhaktavatsala. And we have to try to become such a bhakta where Lord can show his Vatsala, right? By following the Yuga Dharma. We can do that if we follow Yuga Dharma. We can also come in that category of bhakta where Lord Krishna can show his Bhakta Vatsala for us by chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. So, all right. We will open for questions. I thought I'll recap, but no, I think we are already over time, so we can start.
I have a question.
Like, Vijay, first of all, thank you for this wonderful class. And so the question which is coming to my mind is like, if something happens in our life, how to understand it is my own karma or it is Krishna's plan?
So the question is, how do we, if something not good happens in our life, how do we understand it is my own karma or Krishna's plan? The own karma and Krishna's plan, as said, there is no difference, to be honest. Okay, that's my understanding. But as I said, we discussed about if your desire, see, there are only two plans that are active. Once you desire something, your desire is fulfilled if you have enough karmic balance, and your desire is fulfilled, you are happy. You will not get that question in your mind. But when your desire is not getting fulfilled, what can be the other situation? Imagine about that. There is a master plan that is going on. We have to understand that. And within that master plan, it is Lord Krishna's plan that is active. So if you have a certain desire and you have certain plan which doesn't get fulfilled, you have to understand that that plan is not aligned with the plan of Krishna. That is why it is not getting fulfilled. And the other thing that you have to always understand is Krishna is Suhradam Sarvabhutana. We know that, right? He is the friend, the well-wisher. He is the only true friend actually of all living entities. He is the only true friend. And a true friend is always a well-wisher. And if a well-wisher is creating a plan for you, then you can always understand that this plan is going to benefit you, right? So if you are disheartened and if you certain not good thing happens with you, you have to really bring your consciousness to that level, that understand that this is Krishna's plan, and Krishna's plan on a larger scale. So we always think from either this moment or this year or this life perspective, but Krishna has such a broader view. If you go if you're traveling on a plane, if you have flight and if you look down, you will see everything so nice and clean, right? But when you go to the ground, you will see all the lanes and all the traffic, etc. So we are stuck in that traffic and we are seeing so many different problems. But Krishna has that broader view. He has a view of the entire, our millions of birds, right? And in that millions of birds, he has certain plans of, you are lacking this quality or you are lacking this particular aspect in your life. To teach that aspect, there can be a soft way or a hard way. Sometimes there is a hard way, right? But once you go through that hard way, you will develop certain nature or a quality which is required for you to progress further. So that should be your understanding, that is part of Krishna's larger plan, right? And karma is very tricky. The when you get certain reaction, is again all happening under the law of nature, which is under Krishna's planning. So I would not distinguish between whether it is Krishna's plan or your own karma. It is one and the same thing for me. Anybody wants to add? Sure. Yes, please.
So you said that either it's my plan will work or Lord's plan will work, right? But we also understand sometimes that it is end of the day, everything is Lord's plan. So if my plan is working, maybe my plan is aligned with Lord's
Correct.
plan.
Absolutely.
So is that the right way to?
Yes, absolutely. If you are being sanctioned about your desire and your plan, and that plan is getting fulfilled, and you are taking shelter of the Lord, then automatically your plan is aligned with Krishna. Yes, that should be our understanding.
Yeah, I mean, not even to a devotee also, but anybody for that matter, right? If it
Yes.
works in his favor, even that is Lord's plan also.
Yes.
So everything that happens is as per Lord's will.
Correct. And that is going to be your benefit. Somewhere or the other, it is going to bring you one step closer to your final destination.
Yeah. Thanks, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
So we can say that even karma is also your plan because you are only doing it. And so
Karma is
also your plan. As we say, karma is Krishna. Whatever you get out of karma is Krishna's plan, but that is also your plan because you only did it.
So you are desiring.
Yeah.
See, the only we have learned that, right? The only thing that we have is our will or the desire. We can only desire. You have heard about the three doers, right? Who is the doer? So the Atma or the soul desires, right? Who is the approver? Approver is Paramatma. What he is checking? He is checking the karmic balance, whether he is eligible to get that desire fulfilled or not, right? And who is enabling that? Prakriti, right? So material nature is enabling that. So what the living entity is doing is desiring. Now that one desire is not controlled by the Lord. You can desire by your own self. But what happens after that desire is all controlled, not in your control. Correct? So again, the action that you are performing based on the desire and the fulfillment of that action is not under your control. You can only desire, but the action that you're performing is controlled, not in your control. It's controlled either by the material nature, which is under the control of the Lord. Right?
Yeah.
I hope that answers.
Yes.
So the karma, or if you're talking about action, that action is you're not performing. You're only desiring.
And then you are not responsible for your karma. Then.
You
are
are
right?
responsible
So
for
then
your
whatever,
desires.
whatever happens with you ultimately, it's like in line with karma. Then whatever you did that incur your karma. So then ultimately you are planning good or bad things for yourself, right?
Correct. So when you are desiring something, even for example, let's take an example of a terrorist. Okay. A terrorist is planning and is desiring that I will blast a hotel, for example. Now his desire is there. Now, how that the desire get fulfilled? If he has enough karmic balance for that desire to be fulfilled, that desire will get fulfilled. There is no obstruction there. But he has to again face the reaction of that. That reaction is still going to come, right? And reaction will come in the form of situations in his life where he will act in a certain way again. So, right. I mean, the reaction is so responsibility of desiring is there with us, right? Not the action. After desire gets sanctioned, you are going to act, right? So it's eventually you are responsible for that act, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it is getting clarified. You have still doubt.
No, but I think
We can discuss maybe after the class. But the point is, as a living entity, you can only desire. And that you have to be responsible for the desire. So the action that you perform based on the desire, you will get the reaction, either pious or impious or no reaction. So what we have to do is we have to act in such a way for that we don't get any reaction.
Correct.
And that is a karma, right? Any other questions or comments? So thank you so much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.